friends, I'm Amy, a health coach here at Flip Your Leaf, and today we're talking about something called intuitive hydration. Now, all that means is listening to your body's internal cues about when you need water, what feels right for you to make sure that you're staying hydrated throughout the day. Now, just so we're on the same page, I know everybody's bugging you about drinking your water, but it actually plays a ton of really important roles in our body, some of which we don't always think of. So like fluid surrounds our brains, so we need water in our diet to, make sure that our brain is staying in a nice lush environment. We use water to communicate signals throughout our body. So our body is using waters to send messages from the brain throughout our nervous system. Our body uses water to move our muscles. It's creating those contractions using, electricity throughout our body. We also use water for digestion. It's in our, it's in our blood. It's in so many parts of our body. There's a reason that we're mostly made of water. I keep hearing a joke going through Facebook that we're cucumbers with anxiety. And I think that's just hilarious. That says something to my sense of humor, I think. But there's a reason that we carry so much water in our bodies. Like, it keeps our hearts beating. Like, there are just so many important roles of water in the body that sort of, it's not a joke when we say you've got to nail that hydration. So what are some recommendations about water? I bet you've heard the 8 glasses of water a day. I've also heard, take your body weight and cut that in half and drink that in ounces. We know that if you live in a hot climate or you are doing like high intensity exercise, you're producing a lot of sweat, and that might be like, running a crazy marathon, or that might also be like really crazy, heavy lifting in your garden, or it might be a really busy day of housework. If you're, generating a lot of sweat, those are that's water that's coming out of your body, and we want to make sure that we're replacing that. And so what does this mean for intuitive hydration? Well, in my practice, when I'm working with my clients, we do start with something similar. Like, if you're not drinking any water, we start with 1 glass, because 1 glass is better than what's happening already. And I mean water, not coffee or not, tea or anything like that. I want clear water. And if that feels like too much, we start with something clear, which means something without like dairy or dairy alternatives or sugar in it, anything that we can get in your body to help you hydrate. And we kind of move up from there. Fun fact, just quick popping in here, is that you do need 2 glasses of water to make a poop. And so while studies have shown, or at least the studies that are available to us right now, have shown that sort of waterlogging your body is not going to resolve an issue like constipation, you do need at least 2 glasses of water in your body in order to have a bowel movement. And so if you're struggling with something like constipation, you might want to check your diet and make sure that you are ingesting enough water to physically have a bowel movement. That's often a good place to start, especially if you are doing activities throughout the day, or you live in a climate where you are sweating consistently throughout the day, just making sure that your body does have enough fluid in there to make a bowel movement for you. Whoop! Sorry, okay, we got sidetracked. But intuitive hydration. Let's back up one step and talk about some of the recommendations for, I don't want to say like standard or like suggested hydrating. Like, that doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't feel right in my intuition. But there are some general recommendations that we want to follow. Those are those 8 glasses of water. That's, cutting your body weight in half and drinking that in ounces, making sure that you're incorporating extra water if you're doing activities where you're sweating. Like, it could be gardening, it could be deep cleaning your house. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're sort of getting a sweat on through exercise, through movement, through, whatever sort of is your jam, if we're removing water from the body, we want to make sure that we're replacing it through hydration. And again, that's through clear water, like some herbal teas if they're not caffeinated, but not like coffee, not, fruity drinks, not, most of the stuff you're going to get from Starbucks. Those do not count towards your daily water intake. So when we're approaching hydration from an intuitive standpoint, normally with my clients, we try and get them up closer to the standard hydration sort of levels, that 8 glasses of water, their body sort of cut in half, and then drinking that in ounces, accommodating for any workouts that they're doing throughout the day. And that can take a bit. Like, sometimes we anchor them to something else. So like, I'm gonna, I have to go up every once in a while and get something from the photocopier or from the printer, and like every time I get up to go to the printer, I'm going to bring back a glass of water with me, or every time I get up to use the washroom, for example, like I'm going to bring a glass of water with me. Have some people set a timer, like really basic things, just to make sure that they're getting in that water during the day. We give it about 2 weeks sort of for the body to settle, because if you've gone from drinking almost no water to drinking, half your body weight in ounces, that can be a bit of an adjustment period, and so you will find that you're using the washroom more frequently at the beginning. But we would expect to see that sort of even out as your body sort of gets accustomed to processing that much fluid from your diet. So where the intuition comes in is, we've had this 2 week sort of settling period. You're in the habit of drinking fluid consistently, like your body's feeling nice and happy. Then we start asking ourselves questions. We start using our intuition, like, is the amount of times that I'm going to the washroom disruptive to my day? Like, you should not be going to the washroom every 45 minutes. That's not what we want. But also, like, am I noticing that I really haven't changed how often I'm going to the bathroom? Like, do I need a bit more water? Or I'm noticing that my urine is completely clear when I'm using the washroom. Like, then we might be overhydrating, even if it's not impacting how often you go. Like, there's no reason for your urine to be completely clear. Like, you should not be urinating water. That's not what we want. On the flip side of that, if your urine is still, pretty dark, like, we might want to try first calling your doctor to make sure that there's nothing else going on. There's nothing with the way that your kidneys are processing the fluid. Like, if we know that you're at the standard amount, but we haven't actually seen a change at all in your urine, it might just be time to touch base with your healthcare team and say, like, hey, I recently upped my water intake. I'm noticing that my urine still has a dark color, or it still has a smell, and I just want to sort of check in and touch base, maybe do a urine sample to make sure that everything is in tip-top shape. And we can also consider just increasing your water. Was this not enough water for you? Like, I have some clients who are, 5'1", 5'2". They are not going to need the same amount of water as someone who's like 6'5". Like, my husband is 6'5". He needs more water than me because he has more muscles and he has more, he's got a bigger intestine than me, I feel like, based on what he eats for dinner. Like, he's got more stuff going on there. So it makes sense to me that he might need more water than I do, right? Like, I'm a marathon runner. I might need more water than some people. And so this is really something that we need to use your body's own intuition for. And like I said, there are metrics we can use. Like, there are standards that we can start with and then start tweaking from there. But in order to make sure that your body has what you need, we really do need to hone in or sort of tune into your body's own unique signals, your body's own unique needs, and really just figure out what is the amount of fluid that is right for you to make sure that your body has what it needs to get everything done, to make sure that you have energy to get throughout your day, and to make sure that you're feeling really happy and healthy in your body. Okay, so the take-home message for today is a two-parter. One, you need to drink at least 2 cups of water to make a poop, and so if you're struggling with an issue like constipation, waterlogging your body isn't going to help you. But you do need at least 2 cups of water per day in order to produce a bowel movement. And so if that's something you're struggling with, definitely check out your water. Also touch base with your healthcare team, obviously. And number 2 is that one of the best ways to figure out how much water is right for your body is really just to test your water. And listen to your body's internal cues. How often are you going to the washroom? Are you craving glasses of water? Are you, urinating and it looks like water still? That might be a little bit too much. But really just listening to your body, answering its cravings when it's like, I really want a cold glass of water, like, being a good steward of your body and saying, like, cool, I heard that. Let me go grab one of those for you. So that is the idea of intuitive hydration sort of in a nutshell. Now, if you want more information about IBS, the mechanics of your body, how to get the low FODMAP diet down to a science, definitely hop in my newsletter. We have a ton of fun in there. I've got tons of different information for people who are starting the low FODMAP diet, people who are new to IBS, sort of lots of different streams of information that will meet you right where you are. I'm going to drop the link below, but before you go, make sure to subscribe to my channel. You are going to get a ton more information. We are going to have a ton of fun, and together we're going to help your body feel like home. I'll see you in my next video.